Tanya Steele, editor-in-chief of Epicurious.com, and you're watching Around the World in 80 Dishes. Today we're checking out the cuisine of the US of A. I've got the expert here, Bruce Mattel, chef extraordinaire from the Culinary Institute of America, and we're heading to the great state of Texas to make some chili con carne with chili cheddar shortcakes. Oh my God. When can we start? This sounds so good.
Well, put in some oil into our pot,
right.
and you want to use a decent heavy gauge stock pot so that you could get the pan really hot, so it browns everything really nice, or cooks everything pretty nicely. Once you get that pretty hot, add the onions.
Okay.
Usually you try to cook onions before other ingredients so that you cook some of the sulfur out of them.
Right.
You just want to sweat those a little bit. Hey, you can use
Thank
that.
you.
That's a rubber spatula, but it's heat resistant. So now that you got the onions sweated, you want to add some garlic and the carrots. And you want to soften the carrots just a bit. It's good to add the garlic after the onions so that you don't, you have a little moisture in there so that the garlic doesn't burn.
I see, so it doesn't get bitter.
Right. And, you know, in the essence of time, we're going to move this dish along just a little bit.
Yep.
But if you're making this at home, take your time, because really it's a food that could last a long time, and that it only gets better.
Yes.
So if you make it the day before and you have time, make it the day before, and then just let it sit in the refrigerator, and it'll just, all those flavors will marry. And it's best, in my opinion, after 2 or 3 days.
2 or 3 days.
Sure.
Okay.
So now that that's sweated a little bit, add your beef.
Okay.
And this is coarse ground chuck, and it's a little on the fattier side because fat is flavor.
Yep.
But obviously, if someone wanted a little healthier version, they could use either beef shank meat or top round, or a cut that is traditionally much leaner.
I see.
So you really want to brown the meat, and the browning, or the Maillard reaction, which is the browning of protein, usually adds a little more flavor and character to a dish.
So if you want to really ump this up even more in terms of flavor, do the meat first, take it out, cook the vegetables, put the meat back in.
Put the meat back in.
Okay.
And then add your liquids. So again, in the essence of time, I'm going to ask you just to cook that till the meat is pretty much like 3/4 cooked.
Yep.
And it's getting there.
Yep.
And then we'll add our spices next.
Okay.
And it's good to add the spices before you add a liquid component.
Oh, why is that?
Because the dry heat will toast the spices a little bit and develop the character of those spices.
So tell me what we've got here.
We have cumin, ground cumin. And if you wanted, you could even toast these dried spices first a little bit, even in the oven, to freshen up the flavor, but it's not absolutely imperative.
Or in a skillet, right?
Or in a skillet, too, on low heat. Got some crushed red pepper.
Ooh, it's going to give it a little bit of fire.
Sure. Chili powder.
This guy right here? Now, how much should I use? A pinch?
No, use it all.
This whole thing?
Yeah, it's sweet chili powder.
Oh,
it's not hot. And that's the real key to chili con carne, is the chili powder, or the dried chilies.
Because that looks scary when you add all of that, but it's a sweet chili powder.
That's probably the most important ingredient in the dish.
Okay. Okay, what do we got
You
there?
can add a little pinch of cayenne. Maybe one more.
One more pinch?
I like 2 alarm chilies. And some dried oregano.
Okay.
And if you can get Mexican oregano.
Yes, that's the best kind,
it's
right?
It's a little different, and it's a little more complementary to the dish. So once you get those spices in there, toast it up.
Yep.
It's starting to look good already.
Yeah, it is, and it smells really good. All right.
That's looking good.
So normally you let it cook for about 10 minutes or so?
Yeah, you want it to cook a little bit longer than that, but it looks pretty good.